Hi, I'm Michelle Beckham Corbin, President of C3 Creating Connections Consulting.
And I'm Mark McCumber, President of McCumber Creations.
Welcome to our new show.
Digitally Speaking.
If you're just tuning in, this is our third show, and I want to just recap a little bit about what we talked about in show number 2, which you can find on YouTube. In show number 2, we took a look at creating a strategic social media marketing plan for a small business. We talked about the importance of setting that strategic plan, coming up with objectives and measures, and really having a good feel for who your target audience is and where they reside. As we mentioned last time, Mark, there are many social media tools for people to use, and that strategic plan helps them to realize where they actually need to be. So take a look at that. You'll find that we had a big focus on Facebook pages and on Twitter, and the importance of having really sound content and engagement strategies to help your business be successful. And as a special tip, we actually used Mark's business as an entertainer as an example. So you'll be able to take a look at some of the things that that he did and things that he strategized about to get his entertainment business online and digitally speaking.
Well, I hope that I set a good example, and I often, like many other business owners, maybe not being a marketing professional or someone who does that, who has tried to take on a certain amount of that role in my own capacity in my company, to be able to learn all about it. So hopefully some of that information was applicable for you and you put it to good use, and now you're getting hits like crazy because we gave you the hot tips. So
that's right. Excellent. So today what we're going to do is take our discussion in a little bit of a different direction. So we are going to talk about kind of what I call the fun aspects of social media, the fun platforms. And those are the social media platforms that really surround visual media. Mm-hmm. And I know you're all about visual, being an artist yourself.
Sure, and visuals are so important, and especially in this day and age, and kind of a point of departure conversation that we were having about Facebook and about websites and about coming up with great imagery and ways to get people's attention through that imagery. It's such an important thing. The written word is becoming less important as the images, as the picture is worth 1,000 words, so to speak, that's really becoming what people are looking for in websites and in media. So lots of great toys, lots of great applications coming online every moment to help us with that. So
I love that description, lots of great toys, because I'll tell you, some of the tools that we're going to be talking about today, the toy tools, really are a lot of fun to work with. I think one of my most favorite is Instagram. Mm-hmm. And for folks who are not familiar with Instagram, it is an app that you can download for your phone or your iPad, and you can take pictures of your world, things that are going on in your life, mm-hmm. and you can use a lot of really cool filters, mm-hmm. to make those pictures look very artistic, mm-hmm. right? So you don't have to be that talented artist, and I can only speak for myself. I have absolutely no talent whatsoever, but I can take just a regular photograph and do some really cool things to it and make it look really, really artsy. Mm-hmm. And do you use Instagram, Mark?
Well, it's a great tool, and I do use it a little bit, but there have been other tools in the past that we've used for stuff. You put the Andy Warhol application on, next thing you know, you've turned yourself into a portrait that if Andy Warhol had painted you, you would look like that. But it's really great because it's really made for the user who wants to do something really quickly and give a little bit of difference to their photos, and it just becomes fun. It's like you say, it's a tool, but yet at the same time, it's something that gives you a little bit more of an artistic edge to your work. And for some who are maybe not as artistically inclined, it gives you the ability to do it with a hit of a button, which is a great tool.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people who may be aware of Instagram and may not be users don't realize that Instagram truly is a social media platform, meaning that in addition to making these really cool pictures and being able to share them publicly with the world, you still have the ability to be social. What you'll have is people comment and like your pictures. I personally have been involved in discussions with maybe 5 different people at one time. And so it's just like a Facebook or a Twitter where you really can have conversations surrounding what that picture is. Now, what I see a lot of are pictures of food. I think a lot of people kind of refer to it as like food porn or whatever, but if you ever go to a restaurant and you see some folks sitting at the table and they haven't touched their food yet, and you're wondering what in the world are they doing, it's because they are kind of laying the food out to get that great shot on Instagram. So you see a lot of people sharing food. For me personally, I love the ability to connect with people all over the world. So when I take a look at who are the people on Instagram, so the Instagram users that I personally want to follow, I choose to follow people in other countries because it opens up a window to their world that I wouldn't have. You know, to be able to see perhaps a country in the Middle East, see pictures of not only the food, but maybe, you know, what an outside of a mosque looks like, or what kinds of cars are they driving there, or pictures of camels, or, you know, whatever is their daily life, right, that we don't see. I love that opportunity to be able to kind of touch other people in the world.
And living vicariously through other cultures. I mean, it's great to be able to see that because some folks don't get to travel very much, and what a great way to do that.
Right.
Bring it right to your table, right to your door.
Right. So I wanted to share with you too, in addition to Instagram, there are a lot of other companies that have come out with tools that help enhance Instagram. And there is something called Statagram. And Statagram is a program that really allows you to go even deeper with Instagram. It allows you to do deeper searches, to catalog your pictures, to be able to control your conversations a little bit easier. So it's kind of like an organizational tool to help manage your Instagram. So for anybody that really wants to jump into Instagram, I would recommend checking out Statagram.
Well, a curious question that arises, and how does that all play into Facebook and or LinkedIn or any of these other things, and how does it integrate into websites, or how does it work with search engine optimization? Does it have any kind of effect on those?
Those are great questions. Yes, and yes. No. To answer your questions, with Instagram, when you post that picture and do all of your fun things with it, you can automatically share that out to Facebook and Twitter. So there is the direct connection there. Facebook actually purchased Instagram not too long ago, I believe it was 2012. And so you've got that connection there. But beyond being kind of a fun toy or a fun tool, businesses are using Instagram to be able to promote their brand. So to be able to share pictures of their products or what they're all about. And you mentioned the whole search engine optimization. Everything comes back to businesses and people want to be discovered. And so one of the key things with Instagram is tagging. So just like we talked about with Twitter and Facebook, you can actually use keywords, you can tag your pictures, and that goes into the whole searchability aspect of being discovered. So what you'll find is the people who are really heavy Instagram users, you'll take a look at one of their pictures and they may have 25 tags on each picture. But and then back to websites even, I know businesses that are posting their Instagram stream right on their website. So that they've got their pictures flowing right there. Or if it's a type of business that just wants to kind of highlight a category, then you could look for the hashtag, let's say breakfast food or something, and then just have this continual, you know, play of whatever those images are that
well, what
you've
a great
tagged.
tool toy, if you will. And a great tool for consistency and branding and rhetoric and getting point and messaging across. So all this great stuff.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of times people don't, and businesses and organizations don't even know that they are on Instagram kind of without their knowledge, right? So I'm a member of the Anderson Chamber of Commerce, and so for fun one day, I just searched the hashtag Anderson Township, and I found that people have been taking pictures of things in Anderson for a long time, tagging them Anderson Township, and when you pull up the hashtag Anderson Township, you see this whole array of gorgeous, gorgeous pictures. But the township didn't know that that was going on.
Wow.
So here you've got, you know, individual citizen journalists, citizen photographers who are helping to promote, you know, the area that that we live in.
What a sales force.
Yeah, that's right, that free Salesforce. Well, the hot tip, new news, Instagram just added video capability.
Wow.
And people may be thinking, why did they do that when it sounds like photography is just such a great, you know, it's a great thing. It's really doing some, creating some splash out there. And it's because of Vine. I think in show 1, we mentioned Vine just really briefly. But Vine is that tool that allows you to take really short videos that, what's it called when they
loop?
Thank you. I was looking for that word, loop. Yes, that loop over and over again. And it's become an absolute hit. So it sounds like Instagram had to kind of jump into the fray because they wanted a piece of that video market as well.
Sure. Well, video, everyone likes action films, action flicks. They want to see the real living thing. So absolutely, videos are great.
Yeah.
Especially little short snippets, you know.
Yes, yes. Although, if you take a look at some of the little videos that kids are putting on, they're
little kids, well, you know, we can't be responsible for them and their content, so.
Oh, gosh.
But kids will think that the funniest things are funny, so.
Well, you know, and speaking of content, the other tool that is absolutely huge right now is Snapchat. Are you familiar with that?
Little bit.
Snapchat?
Yeah.
I actually just picked up an article today with some statistics that I want to share with everyone. First off, let me explain. Snapchat is the ability to take a picture or a very short video and send it to a friend. And that picture or video will disintegrate within so many seconds, right?
Yeah.
So we can imagine what kind of silly face pictures or other types of pictures that people may choose to send to their friends, knowing that the friend will just get that quick look and then the picture will be gone.
And we've used that analogy about Mission Impossible, and the tape turns to smoke and the thing just disappears and never to be seen again, so.
That's right. You know, just in May of 2013, Snapchat actually hit 8 million unique users.
Wow.
And when we look at the amount of pictures that are shared on a daily basis with Snapchat, it's 200 million. Now, for perspective, we all know how successful Facebook is, and we know Facebook is one of the biggest places that people share photos. So for perspective, on Facebook, there are 350 million photos uploaded daily. So 350 on Facebook as compared to 200 million on Snapchat. It's a lot of Mission Impossible disintegrating
It's a lot of stuff
pictures.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting and has its place in the world, you know, for fun.
Well,
not much a business application for that. Well, maybe if you're sending top secret documents out and you want them to be destroyed instantly. I don't want another company to get I have this great idea and I'm going to send it to my buddy over at the other company, but I don't want anybody else to get it, so it just poof, it's up in smoke.
I wonder if WikiLeaks thought about that.
WikiLeaks, I know. Well, we don't want to go there right now. Might be a little too controversial for our show here, ladies and gentlemen, but.
Well, you know, and the thing about this content disintegrating very quickly, if you have an iPhone, you have the ability to take that picture, a screenshot.
Droids do it too. Save the screen, you can ad infinitum, there it is.
And so, you know, that information isn't necessarily, you know, always.
Gotta be quick though.
Yeah, it's not
quick.
Got to be quick. And there's also been reports of hackers who have broken in to the system to retrieve these missing pictures. So my advice is, don't ever share any pictures that will ever ruin your career in any way.
Good advice, young tweens of the world. Be careful what you post, because someone may capture that and take it to your mom and dad, make a lot of money off of it, because they could blackmail you. You don't want that happening. But it is a really great thing. And I was going to ask that question. Curiously, the demographic for that. I'd be curious to see who's really using that most. I would assume that that's a great kids application, but that others could use it, and it's still fun regardless of how fast it dissolves.
Well, the interesting thing is a lot of adults are using it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other interesting thing is if you open up an account,
Mm-hmm.
It automatically pulls in your connections.
Oh.
Can search your phone,
Oh.
search your Facebook connections, and and then you could kind of be in a situation where you're kind of looking at the list of names of people that have Snapchat, and you think, oh my, really?
Might want to be more careful about what I post in my silly little, quick dissolve snapshots.
Well, as I mentioned, Snapchat is huge. It's growing. Everybody wants to be a part of it, and that includes young kids. So Snapchat got on board and created a subset of Snapchat that's called Snap Kids. And this is targeted to younger kids and tweens. Now, I personally don't see the kids getting very excited about this because from a safety perspective, it's great. The kids cannot share their pictures, so there's not that issue of sending anything, they can't receive pictures. It's more that they use the tool to take pictures and then edit and draw designs and, decorate the pictures that they've taken.
Yeah.
So even though it's part of Snapchat, it really is not being used in the same way that Snapchat would be. So, but they put this in place so that younger kids can feel like they're part of it.
Sure.
And once their true age is entered, it just doesn't prevent them to share, etc. Now, we all know that, there has to be at least one child in this world that has gone on a social media site and not put their real age. They've kind of bumped it up, maybe 3 or 4 years.
Sure.
So there's at least one kid out there that probably has done that.
That's great. That's great.
Oh, gosh. But yeah, constantly coming out with new things. For folks that really want to be creative, you are a graphic designer, you've got that natural talent and ability and knowledge. There are people like me who don't have it, and so we rely on tools that help us to be creative. And I wanted to share 2 free tools that anybody can use. One of them is PicMonkey, P-I-C, and then the word monkey. And it allows you to pull in any photograph and then totally edit it. Whether you're cropping or you're, changing hair color on a person,
Sure.
touch-ups, almost anything that a photographer would, a professional photographer would do,
Sure.
you can go in and play around with your photos. You can create collages, create backgrounds, add stickers, do all kinds of fun things, and then print your pictures off.
So like a cross between, say, a Photoshop or an Illustrator, where you're getting a cross hybrid between something that does things to photographs, but you can also pull in graphics and integrate things. That's a great tool, and yes, there's a lot of applications.
Yeah, and there's another one, it's called Ribbet. Just like a frog would say ribbet, R-I-B-B-E-T, and it does the same thing. Although I think it has a little more bells and whistles than PicMonkey does, and lots of free options. And then for those who want to go even deeper, there's premium features that people can pay for to do some additional things to their photographs.
Excellent tools for anyone, really.
Yeah, business or personal. Now, one of the oldest, and I kind of laugh when I say oldest, right? Because how long has social media in any form even been around? Not for very long. But one of the oldest photo sharing tools out there is Flickr. And Flickr recently went through a retool to make their platform much more user-friendly and more visually stimulating. And folks that watch the show will be able to see a shot of how beautiful the Flickr photographs are on there. And one thing that I wanted to share, especially for business folks, a lot of times people who maybe don't have the budget, don't have the graphic design capability, are looking for images that they can use for free. And we call that Creative Commons. There are people who create works of art, pictures, etc., who create the Creative Commons license to allow people to use their work, and a lot of times as long as they attribute it back to the creator. So Flickr actually has a place on their website that lists all of the images that you can use for free under that Creative Commons license, and you can search. So let's say you're trying to, you're a person that's even trying to do an invitation for a party, and you're looking for maybe a beach party photo or something. You can search Creative Commons and find something that you might want to use, as well as businesses looking for things that they might want to use as well.
Well, that's good that they're recognizing the originator or the artist that created that too, and making sure they get a credit for it. That's very important.
Yeah, and I have friends that are photographers and artists, and that is really, and I'm sure you see the same with the songwriting that you do. The biggest thing for creative folks, is they make these pieces, they create music, art, etc., and they want to be paid for their efforts. They don't want people to take their stuff online. And so, a lot of people out there don't realize that if something is on the internet, you can't just take it. You can't just download it. You can't just copy the picture, because then you are really getting into copyright infringement. You have to have permission from the original creator, or go to royalty free, or these Creative Commons areas.
Well, and that is one of the challenges in the creative industry, that plagiarism is rampant, because it's so easy to take an idea and capitalize on it when someone else has spent days, weeks, months, years, maybe a lifetime creating something. And so I think it's important. It's something that came up some years ago, especially when people started downloading music per se.
Yeah.
There was a lot to it, and there were a lot of controversies and lawsuits over copyright infringement, and how are we going to manage this? The music industry turned upside down over it, so it really was a huge impact on it. So all of this is important. I think it's starting to shake out a little bit now. After some time, people are figuring out how to be able to capitalize and get their fair share for something that may be a body of work that they've taken a long time to create. We have Pinterest on this as well as a kind of another application where photographs can be uploaded, or product lines can be uploaded, etc., and people have easy access to seeing a lot of different things, and very, very interesting application as well. A lot of folks are using that for marketing their works, their wares.
Yeah, Pinterest has exploded. As a matter of fact, there's a local company here in Cincinnati, and they actually came out last year under the name Pingage. Their focus was on helping businesses really capitalize on Pinterest marketing. And I was just reading recently that they've kind of retooled, and they've renamed themselves Aha-ology, meaning that they're helping businesses kind of spark that aha idea and trying to move beyond Pinterest. But Pinterest has become absolutely a huge marketing force. I want to say about 18 months ago or so, Pinterest came out with a business proposition. Originally, when it first came out, it was really meant to be for non-business. It was for a lot of crafters to kind of share things that they were making, etc. And a lot of businesses saw how quickly Pinterest was taking off. And for those who are not familiar, Pinterest is, imagine, back in the old days, a lot of us had those cork boards in our kitchen, right? Or maybe mom would, post a note about what was for dinner, or this was the schedule for the week, or, doctor's appointments, etc. So it was a cork board. Pinterest is a visual bulletin board where people can pin pictures by categories, and then other folks can search through and repin or share that image. Now the beauty of it is every single image has the ability to not only have a description, but to have a website link, a URL link that will lead back to whatever the call to action is. So let's say I'm a business, maybe clothing, I sell specialty dresses. I have this beautiful dress, picture of the dress, and if somebody wants to buy it, I've got that link right there. They can click on the link that takes them right to the purchase place on my website to buy.
Yeah, what a great auxiliary tool, augment to your website and to your Facebook page and all the things. Just another great tool to get exposure and to get out to markets that would a few years ago have been impossible to touch base on. Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
absolutely.
Excellent stuff. Well, these are all just incredible things, and we had a couple even other ones. The Creative Commons that's on your list here. Is that a similar type application to?
No, that was the what I was mentioning before about the Creative Commons license, where these are photos that you can use where the
sure. Gotcha.
where the artist has said,
yeah.
you know, I give you permission to use my my stuff.
Gotcha.
You know, just give me, you know.
Great templates for all kinds of things to be used, and that's awesome. Copyright infringement, very, very important. Everybody's sensitive to that, you know, as a musician, artist, and et cetera, to be able to pull from things out of a, that someone has said, hey, I'm willing to share my work as long as I get a credit. Maybe I don't make any money, but at least give me the credit for developing and creating this, and you're welcome to use it. Just give me a plug, you know.
Yeah.
Mention my name when you're using my picture, you know. It's all good. I think that's important. I think it's important as people use these things that they consider the artists to be a real big contributor in that too, that may have spent a lot of time creating that. So all great toys and tools. Wow. Puts us all on the same level to some degree.
That's right. You know, and again, I am not a creative person by any means, not an artist, not a photographer. And I actually had one of my Instagram photos picked up by the Cincinnati Enquirer, and it was on the front page of the Sunday paper.
What a great thing. Congratulations too, yeah.
Thanks. I just happened to be at Music Hall, and I was standing underneath the beautiful chandeliers, and I just kind of aimed my, my phone up at the chandelier, hit a little filter, and when you look at the picture, it almost looks like dancing lights, almost like ghosts, you know.
Great
so
shot.
yeah, so it's, you know, kind of fun. You might get your additional 15-minute of Andy Warhol fame.
Yeah, exposure. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, well, you know, as we've been talking about these visual media pieces and tools and apps for photography, it's kind of a nice segue to share a couple of tools that people may use as they travel during the summer. A lot of the tools we've been talking about, as I mentioned, go along with photography. And when we travel and go on vacation, one of the first things we like to do is to take pictures of where we are and send them home. There's an app that I just discovered recently called Postagram. And the way this app works, you know, in the old days, we'd go to the little, you know, tourist store and buy the postcard and mail it off to mom and dad or whomever we're going to send the postcard to. Well, today you can take your picture with your phone and then you can turn it into a postcard. You can pay right online, and for a small fee, you send that postcard and your recipient won't receive it digitally. They will actually receive a real postcard.
What a great idea.
Your digital piece will be converted into a real hard, you know, touchable paper and mailed.
What a great tip for all you vacation travelers out there. So hopefully we brought you a lot of really great information that you can use today and apply to your businesses and help you with your self-marketing. And on behalf of Michelle and I, we really appreciate you coming and viewing our show, and we really hope that you share this knowledge with others and tell them to come back and see us here on ACTV with Digitally Speaking. So until next time, we'd like to bid you adieu and hope that we do see you next time. So thanks for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching.